Hello, my name is Greg Robinson. I am a man of God living in Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. Okay. Um, this is a teaching video I'm making right now. The topic of it is too severe punishment. Okay. Too severe punishment. Okay, number one, in terms of punishment, you gotta know something. Okay. Number one, half the people who are in prison are actually wrongly accused, falsely accused. They're innocent. Um, and how would that happen? One example is the police coerce confessions out of people. They practically torture people psychologically to get them to confess. They interrogate them for like 6, 7 hours non-stop to the point where the person being the suspect gets so fed up with it they confess to the crime even though they're innocent. So the police are sinning by forcing, coercing confessions out of people. That's number one. So most people are innocent. Number two, the people who are guilty, who committed the crime, half of them have repented. And when you repent, you no longer deserve punishment. That's a fact, okay? Yeah. And then in terms of the sentencing, those are too severe too. Life in prison. Let's say you rob a bank. Life in prison is too severe for that crime. My friends, you know what else they do? They lock people up in cells with a metal bed and nothing else in there. Can you imagine spending 50 years in a small cube with nothing to read, nothing to do, no one to talk to? That is too severe punishment. That's the topic of this video. Too severe punishment, okay? These people in prison are suffering massively. The other bad thing is hard labor. Come on. Don't you think it's bad enough to be locked up in prison without being forced to dig trenches 5 hours a day? That's wrong too. Hard labor is wrong. What if the person's innocent and you're forcing them to do hard labor? Think about that. Next, every convict, no matter what their crime was, deserves the possibility of parole. Everybody, whether they're a murderer, a rapist, a bank robber, everybody deserves the possibility of parole. Because, like I say, half the people in prison have repented, but there's no way for them to get out. They're stuck there the rest of their lives, even though they've repented of the crime. Okay, so that's that part. I had an idea today, and that's why I'm making this video, okay? I want to question you guys. What do you think? Let's say somebody's a serial killer, okay? Should we strap them to a bed, okay, and poke them with pins and needles, okay? Physically torture them non-stop for 40 years. What do you think? Should we torture somebody non-stop for 40 years because they robbed a bank or because they're a rapist? What do you think? I think that's too severe. And the government obviously agrees with me because they don't do it. No government will torture somebody non-stop for 40 years unless the government itself is corrupt. You know, like some dictators might do that to people. But normal governments would not do that. Yeah, so here's the thing. Think about this. Think about what I'm saying. Okay, if our government does not torture rapists and murderers for the rest of their lives, non-stop, severe torture, would we do that to somebody? You know that's wrong, right? Tell me that you know it's wrong, because it is. Now think about this. If our government won't do it, why would God? If it's too severe for our government to do it, obviously it's too severe for God to do it. If our government won't torture people, why would God, okay? Do you think eternal torture in a lake of fire. Eternal. That's too severe. Hell, give me a life sentence in prison. Don't torture me for eternity. My friends, eternal, physical, painful, severe torture is unjustified. There's no justice in it. God would not do that because he's loving and righteous and forgiving. He would not torture somebody for eternity. Not me, not Satan even. Nobody. Yeah, so if our government won't torture people, why would you expect God to? And if God does it, we should be doing it also then, right? With his guidance. But obviously he wouldn't do that. Okay, I'm just reading my notes. Yeah. So my friends, stop saying, if you're the victim of a crime or a relative of a victim, stop saying of the suspect, I hope he rots in hell. Do you really? So you're saying you hope he's tortured more than he deserves. You hope he's punished more than he deserves. Is that what you're saying? I hope he rots in hell. So what you're saying is, I hope he's tortured more than he deserves. Think about it. You're the one who's wrong. You're a hypocrite. People who say, I hope he rots in hell, you are being a hypocrite. You shouldn't want somebody to rot in hell for eternity. Come on. Do you really want that? If you do, there's something wrong with you. Yeah. What do you think? Should we punish you eternally in hell? What do you think? We wouldn't even do that because it's wrong. But I'm saying, Lord. Okay, I think that's all I have to say for now. I'm just learning how to use this software. So yeah. So today's date, by the way, just so you know, it is January the 11th, 2024. It's the middle of the night. I was in bed and I had this idea, so I got out of bed to make a video on the topic. At any rate, my friends, have a good night.